I keep thinking I need to wait for the ad. I keep thinking I need to wait for the ad. But hello everyone, hello, hello. Oh! Hi. I'm like, wait, I have like so many notifications on here. It's like YouTube's connected, whatever else is connected, and then I see just Moth. Hi Kit, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I saw your stream yesterday. I was gonna say, I'm like, wait, who are you streaming with? How are you? Welcome, welcome. How's it been going? How's it been going since you're not like in school anymore? Ooh, a Paris Paris. A Paris Paris has appeared if anybody wants to catch that. But yes, we're doing a reading today. It's been so long I can't remember where I left off. I know we're like on chapter 8, so I have to go over it a little bit. No! Summer classes? When do you finish again? I'm gonna try to remember, but when do you finish again? So, I'm looking at some numbers right now and I'm like, yeah, finish school. When do you finish school? No, yeah, when do you finish school? And I'm like thinking of like so much many stuff right now that I'm like I can't put it all together. Oh, hi Jorgy. Hi, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Hi Perry. 2 years. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So today we're gonna be reading a game on. Let me go see how many chapters there are. I can't remember. I see 36. Oh, it looks like it's just 36 chapters. It looks like it's just 36 chapters. I need to look at. Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting. Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everyone. I gotta do some things over here real quick. Ah! I keep forgetting. I had to go on my channel and change a bunch of stuff. I had to figure out like what Pride stuff I actually had. Oh. I didn't realize this thing didn't change. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to figure out like what Pride stuff I actually had. I realized I only had like some emotes. I realized I had some emotes. I need my tech guy. I need my tech guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally when I do these book readings, I put up the character here because I mean, I've done a couple things. Like I did what are those things? Yeah, the PNG model that bounces around. But then I went back to the Lofi game where I can just set up this little model that like reads instead for me, and then I can change the setting and set up like some music and stuff. I mean, I can set up the PNG, but I feel like it's the same either way. It's the same either way because I either set up this model character here or I literally just put the image background. I just put the image background and yeah, it's basically the same thing. So, but this at least with this one, I can change the setting, and they have new settings in this Lofi game where before it was essentially in just the bedroom. I'm gonna pull it up. I don't know what that means. Oh, I need the fan though. Anyway, But yeah, we can either go to the bedroom, the train, or the garden, and I like giving everybody those choices. I feel like the garden, but if anybody wants to like check everything, we can do that. But here's the bedroom. Here's the bedroom. We can lay in the bed, we can sit on the desk. I used to just do the fireplace straight up. Oh yeah, and the little section over here. But we can go here, we can go on the train. We can go on the inside of the train. We can go to, what was it? Where is it? Clicky. No, not the decor. I literally just had it. Oh, activity. You go to activity. You can go to the exterior or the interior. Or we can go to the garden, which is something that they just added. And you can go to like the gazebo, water the flowers, and apparently do some magic. We can, oh yeah, greenhouse. We can do, oh, is it experimenting now? It looks like magic to me. You can do some experimenting here. But yeah, do one of these activities, while doing that. I'm afraid to ask about the jump scare sound. I don't know, what's expensive? 10,000 maybe? What's expensive? 10,000 maybe? I don't know. Probably something like that. Either 10 or 100,000. Maybe let's make it 100. Let's do 10 actually to start. Let's start with 10. And if people actually start making it to that, then I'm gonna cry and make it 100. I don't know. We could do that. Was it the garden? Where you start doing magic? And look at the little spider on a little ball while it's trying to play. That's cute. Yeah, I was gonna say 100K seems expensive. I just don't like getting scared. But yeah, 10. Okay, yeah, 10. 10. I don't know how much it usually costs. Playing, stretching, reading. Ooh, reading. If any of you actually lay down like this on hard ground to read, y'all are terrifying. My ribs would hate me after laying down like that. Or maybe it's because I'm old. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go... I wanted to go to the garden. Maybe I want to go to the gazebo, actually. Where do y'all feel like going? Do we want to go to the bedroom, the train, or the garden? It says I'm right here. Let's see. Oh, well, I'm not laying down right there. Your arms would die from not enough circulation. If anything, I think sitting on my knees. Anybody that sits on their knees is a whole other story. I can't do that. I can't do that for more than like maybe a minute. Anyway, I'm in the garden. I want to... What do I want to do? I want to go to the gazebo. I like the gazebo. But I can't read in the gazebo? Do we want to draw or do we want to paint? No, I'm standing. I don't want to stand. I want to sit. Or do I want to drink? You know what? I want to drink. I want to drink. The other thing I like giving everyone the option of is... We're going to change our spirit companion. The thing about these spirit companions, though, is that they give us a lot of options for spirit companions. Fortunately, they gave new spirit companions that I actually more recently like. If I had to pick a spirit companion, I already know which ones Moth likes. Let me see if I can pick one for Kit, since you're here. I actually don't know which one you'd like. I feel like you wouldn't pick this one. Yeah, I'm trying to pick one for you. I don't feel like I know you well enough to pick one for you. I'd give you this one, I think. Wait, how do I rotate it? Oh, there we go. I'd give you this one. It's sheepy. You can change the color too. It's on fire. Wait. Maybe I'd give it to you in pink. I'm gonna give you a pink one. Or should I go with the classic green? I don't know why, but I feel like giving you a pink one. Yes. You wouldn't pick the sheep either? Probably. Do any of these stick out to you? By chance? Oh, I love the caterpillar. Look at this little nerd. Oh, his little Christmas decorations. I love it. When it's holiday season like this, I don't care for this color set. It's too traditional. I'd rather go with the blue. Did you see a bunny? You probably did see a bunny. I don't know if you consider this one a bunny. Look at that little... Oh, he's picking up his buttons. He picked up his buttons. Let me see. Is there another one? I don't think so. Yes, it is. I'm going to cycle through the colors real quick, just to see if you see one you like. Oh, look at the brown one. You love bunnies? Ah! You know what? It's Pride Month. Here we go. This is the one we're doing. I forgot again. We're doing Pride Month colors. Here we go. Did you just... It put its little button in the cup. It's dipping it. It's dipping it. Dude, what is it? Are you dipping it and then licking it? Oh, wow. It's like a little marshmallow. Oh, okay. If you don't come back, that's fine. I appreciate you being here, Kit. Oh, got a potion. Purple potion. With what kind of future? What kind of future? What kind of future we have in Moth? Some people only got the potion yesterday without the fortune. We gotta know. We gotta know. We have to know your future. Did we accidentally remove the book yesterday? Because I'm not seeing... Oh, there it is. Never mind. I see it. No, it's covering the bunny. We have to move the book. Oh, no! But you have a potion. It's a bleak future, but you have the purple potion, so you're good. You're good. Yeah, assuming I'm still here? Yeah, we just started the stream, so it'll be like 2 hours at least. I like how we're looking over our shoulder. I'm going to take a sip before I start reading. I'm going to take a sip before I start reading. Oh, but I'm going to talk about work for a second. Hold on. So the only thing I want to mention about work is just because I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny because... So it's summer camp technically. And the thing about summer camp is that... Oh, I like how this thing is still here. I'm gonna put it right here. It's summer camp, and me and another teacher are doing lessons. We're doing like art lessons with like young kids, and it's not my first year doing summer camp, but I was the counselor last year, and this year I'm actually doing lessons, and me and another teacher are doing the art lessons. It's their first year. It's both our first years teaching, but it's her first year doing summer camp. So I have a better idea of how it kind of works and what to expect. It's also her first year just working in a school in general. But anyway, she's very organized. She's not like hard on it, but she's like very organized. and she's trying to prep everything. She's like, we should have the kids go based on seat order. We should prep this, and this. She has like everything set straight day by day, and she's just like trying to prep everything. And she's like, okay, what should we expect? And I'm like, expect hell. I'm like, it's not going to be terrible, but I'm like, expect everything not to go right. Hi, Amelia. Welcome, welcome. Now you're on summer break? Nice. Welcome to summer break. How was your last day? What are you going to do for the summer? What are you going to do? Today was actually, now that you mention it, today was actually the first day for summer camp, and that's actually what I'm talking about. Because my coworker was like, what should we expect when we, Oh! Hi, Bato. Welcome, welcome. Actually, you're about to catch that Pokemon. I'm going to try to catch that Pokemon as well. I like that fish Pokemon. And of course, every time I try to throw out a Pokeball, I mistype. But anyway, she asked me, what should we expect? And I said, expect nothing to go right. We have a list of, like, what, 15 kids? Expect more Ooh. You got the lucky potion, Bato! You got the lucky potion! With what kind of future? What kind of future? Oh, we don't know. We just know that it's lucky. That's very good. We just know that it's lucky, and that's all we need to know. That's all we need to know. Kay! Kay's here. Hello, hello. Kay, are you working over the summer? At that same place? At that same place? But yeah, I told her not to. We have like 15 kids, and I told them to expect more to be added. Oh, okay. Nice, nice. I told her to expect more kids to be added throughout. Like, expect some today, some next week, and maybe that's it. So we expected 15. We got like 3 more added. And she was like, wait, what? And we were supposed to have 2 classes. We were supposed to have one in the morning and then one in the afternoon. No! Why did I not get the Pokemon? I didn't get the Pokemon and I'm sad. Bato, give me your Pokemon. We can't actually do it, Bato. I'm just playing around, but yeah. And then we were supposed to have 2 classes. We were supposed to have one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And because of everything that happened in between, we did not get to have that. Yes, good catch, Bato. Good catch, Gay. But yeah, we ended up not having to be able to have the second class. The second class got deterred because of everything that happened in between the switch. And I expected no less, to be honest. I don't remember that happening last year, but I expected no less. And she was not happy. She wasn't mad, but I told her. Oh, thanks for alert, Kay. Really appreciate it. Okay. Yeah. I expected no less. I expected no less. I just went with the flow. I just went with the flow. And I've just learned not to expect things to go right. I take maybe like the first year or 2 to get the hang of things. That's how long it takes me to learn things. And then after that, I just don't care. Because at this point, I've kind of managed things. Flower fields. Yes, flower fields. And I just kind of figure it out from there. I just make a general idea of what I'm going to do and then offhand it. We started almost. Oh yeah, technically it's not summer. Technically, it's still technically spring, but I just offhand it. Like when I went into the classroom and we started the lesson, she had a script. I didn't have I didn't have anything. I just offhanded. I just told all the kids good morning. Let me check in with all of you. Okay, we're having a good day. How was everyone's weekend? And then she just started off the lesson and I just went around and helped all the kids with the lesson. I just needed a general idea of what we were doing, and I just offhanded it from there. She had a whole script, and the fact that the schedule didn't go with what she wanted or had, she was bothered by it, and I'm just like, I breathed. I survived the time of the first day. We're going to do it again tomorrow, and Just make it through June. And then hopefully enjoy the last couple months of or the last couple month and a half of summer. But I just think it's really interesting because my partner pointed out that essentially I was her the first 2 years where I was a stressed, well, probably not, I was worse than her, if anything. Like, I was a stressed mess. I was paranoid. I was a mess 2 years ago. But now I essentially am just meh. I'm just meh. I'm essentially the person drinking hot chocolate, and then sometimes I'm just the little loopy character dancing on the table. I'm just sitting drinking hot chocolate, and then when it's time to do what I need to do, I'm just dancing on the table, just making the best out of whatever is going on. It was just like nice to see and notice, and I feel like honestly the best thing the how should I say this? The best is my best work is what I'm trying to say. My best work is when I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Is when I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Because when I went up there and I was talking to the class, I felt like it looked like I knew what I was doing. And when I've written stories lately, I've been writing some shorthand stories. My best work was always the first draft. If I tried to come up with different ideas afterwards, it didn't come out as good. It didn't come out as good. Always writing whatever came out first was better than the rewritten work. I don't know if anyone else has had that experience, but it always came out better. That's why whenever I went to writing workshops, they weren't like official or anything, but whenever I went to writing workshops and stuff, and they always told me to like rewrite, don't write what you feel, I hated that. I'm like, I feel like it just comes out better. I get the idea, but I feel like it just came out better. I'm clicking a pen, my bad. But yeah. Anyway, so I thought it was funny. Chevy! Hi! Welcome, welcome. I just finished a rant. I was just talking about how I thought it was really interesting and nice, just to see a change of me from 2 years ago being a stressed mess, but now just being able to like flow with it and feel a nice change. I'm helping my coworker kind of like go through it. I feel like they don't need help or anything, but they kind of take it as is. They take it as is. They try to make a schedule, but um, they're just like, oh, okay, it didn't work out. I'm kind of bothered by it, but okay. I'm glad that it doesn't bother them. It bothers them maybe like a little bit, but not like to the point that it makes them not function, if that makes sense. I feel like I have big terminology and I can't make it small anymore. But anyway, I'm gonna put away my little dancing person. Beep. Bye. Here again. Bye. Here. Bye. Beep. Okay, anyway. We're reading Game On. I'm a professional. I'm a professional for now, but then put me somewhere else. I want to start over. Uh, oh, that bothered. Sorry, I just thought of something else I want to rant about for a second. Um, and that is because speaking of being professional, like I said, I'm the school counselor. And I went to these meetings. Basically, let's just call them like these district meetings. So, where all the schools come together, they're called a district. So, where they are located. So, the elementary schools, the middle schools, and whatnot. So, where they're all located. And I went to these meetings. And my admin says, hey, we're struggling getting our school to feel like they're a family, where they feel like they belong here. What can we do to improve that? And they started throwing around ideas. And they said, maybe we can have teachers pair up with each other, do a buddy system, get them to check in with each other. I hated that idea. And the reason for that is because it feels wrong. Why am I being forced to pair up with someone and check in on them? If you ask me to check in on them naturally, because hey, maybe they feel like they're off or you're worried about them, yeah, for sure, I'll check in on them. But if you're telling me that you're forcing someone else to check in on me because you the fact that it's forced feels wrong. It doesn't feel natural. It feels like it's something in my job description that I have to do. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. How is that building a community? It doesn't feel right. Um, Something else that I have to do is check numbers. I have to check data. And something that we did for that is send out surveys. So I sent out a survey to all the teachers in the building and asked them to fill it out. And I brought that back to the principal and I said, hey, not all the teachers had time to fill out the survey. And she looked at me and said, yes, they did. They had time to fill it out. And I'm just thinking, how are you going to tell me that they didn't have time when I'm the one telling you they didn't have time? How are you going to tell me that I'm wrong when I'm the one telling you they didn't have time? A teacher has to deal with so many kids with so many behaviors that you already don't help them with. And you're going to tell me that I'm wrong after you ask me to find a way to help them feel like they belong. And you're already challenging me. Did you not hire me for this position? For a reason. And and then she wanted me to but then she started complaining about how she wants to know who didn't fill out the survey or who did to find out why they don't feel like they belong or why they feel excluded. First of all, you don't need that information. Second, you have to figure out maybe what you're missing or what else you can do to help people feel like they're included, or see what other schools are doing. You can do a lot without that information. I don't know if I said two yet. And third, as someone that I'll admit, I filled out that form and said I don't feel included. I'll add, and I talked to the people that also feel like they're not included. I'm going to add the reasons why. One, I have ADHD, and part of that is I am sensitive to things, and people like me who are neurodivergent, who have like ADHD, autism, and things like that, it's harder for us to feel connected to other people. And people are not aware of that. I have felt connected with the other people that feel excluded, and they also have not necessarily they're not neurodivergent, but they also have other sensitivities. Like, I know some of my coworkers have like OCD, or they've gone through trauma, and we also have situations that have happened to us, and they also feel like that's like, I know one person is currently going through I'm just gonna say like an abusive situation. So right now, not even saying that, she's going through a situation right now where she feels very isolated. So yeah, if she were to fill out this survey at this moment, she's not gonna feel like she's in a good headspace to feel like she's happy right now. But there's just so many other things. I feel like this is like an extrovert thing. Because these people are always like excited to go out drinking, and oh gosh, what else did they do? They would what did they do? They did a Family Feud game. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Who wants to disclose their issues and worries to their boss? I had another coworker, I was talking about this too, and they said, if they do tell them what's going on, what about the part of being retaliated against? That did happen to me. I got retaliated against for sharing my thoughts. It probably was unintentional, I'll say that. But that does build up, intentionally or unintentionally. And that's it's just a thing. That's why you always just have to like learn and do better. Learn and do better. And it's hard for me to like stand up and say something when it feels like I'm just going to get shot down every time. Shot down just like every time. But anyway, I'm sorry. But yeah, that's just what, like I was saying yesterday, that's just one of the things that just makes it hard about working in a school. That's why I prefer to do professional counseling where I'm just working with someone one on one. I focus completely on them. And then if they choose to leave, they choose to leave. It's not always on me. It's like, okay, I know personally they're going through something and I'm just like a section of their life. And I have like, what is that? Ah! Look at that Pokemon! Nope, nope, nope. It tells you the color too. Mine. 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 Nobody touch it. It's mine. Gigi! It's morning for you? Good morning. How are you? It's getting... Gosh, my cat is crying right now. Ah. Good morning. How are you? Welcome, welcome. It's like starting to be evening for me. I want to steal something I've heard from other streamers, but I can't remember to say it. But I'm going to try it. No, actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to try it. I can't do it. They say happy time zone, but it doesn't feel right to me. But morning, morning, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I was just ranting. I forgot what I was ranting about because I got distracted by a Pokemon and now this. But yeah. Oh, that's what I was saying. I was talking about jobs. But yeah, I'm very interested in working with the minds, and it's a lot more with professional counseling. It's 3 a.m. It's going to be 7 over here. It's going to be. Going to be. I'm trying to think. I have like so many things up on my computer right now. My mind is like jumping. But anyway, yes, we're about to read Game On. That was my end of the rant. Oh! Bromance. I should read BL. I usually use that redeem. Thank you, thank you. I usually use that redeem because one of my favorite things in series, it's usually in Ultimate games, is when there is a good... Ooh, what is that? You got the purple potion! Hi, Daver, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Purple potion, and you're in the basement. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun down there. Everyone has fun. I got video games. I got snacks. No windows, so no one can leave.
Thank you for your devotion. It's much appreciated.
All the fun in the basement. But yes, welcome everyone, welcome. But yes, so this one is Game On. We did get a little bit more into it, but let me read the back real quick. Samara Reynolds has built a large following as a gamer under the anonymous screen name and her skills as a DEIA consultant to advocate for equal representation in video games. When she posts a video critiquing the popular game Legend Falls, she knows she'll get a reaction from her fans, but the video leads to hundreds of female gamers criticizing the game and its company, Artemis Games. The only thing more unexpected than starting an online movement is getting a job offer from the handsome CEO of Artemis. Aaron Galanis has been on a mission to get his company certified to create gaming content for people with disabilities. When he sees Artemis trending online for all the wrong reasons, he's determined to right his wrongs and offers the original poster a mea culpa, as well as an offer to overhaul the character options in Legend Falls. Working together turns Aaron and Samara from adversaries into allies, allies into friends, and after that, something more. But once their relationship goes public, will Aaron and Samara be able to weather the storm and fight for their happy ending, or is it game over? So... I don't think I need to go through all the details. But it's basically as it is. We're at the point where they've met, and she and Samara is unsure whether she should take the job offer. From him, she sees him as an adversary at this point, and Aaron is definitely giving her a lot of money. Even his assistant is like, "What the fudge are you doing? This is a lot of money for just getting some help with the job." And so far, she's taking it, from what I recall. She just wants to make sure she's not confusing her online persona of being a critic with her actual job, which is helping with games like this. It seems very obvious that this is a love at first sight thing, but right now they're not acknowledging those feelings yet. Aaron seems to already be really into her, and everyone around them seems to already notice that. Everyone around them seems to already notice that they're into each other and they're teasing it, but it's all very light right now. It's all very light right now. We're on chapter 8 out of 36, so everything is still very early on. Very early on. Let me take another drink before I start. Let me know if there are any audio issues. I've just been informed of like 2 things. I like wearing this headset that I have. And the thing with it, though, is that it doesn't have the best mic quality. I do have a better mic, but the problem is that it's a stand. And I don't like putting it, like, in front of me. It used to be able to, like, be movable, but now it's not. But if I have to switch back, I will. Especially since I want to, at some point, get into more, like, voice acting stuff, and this is what it is. With trying to voice act these Ultimate games that I'm playing and then doing these reading novel stuff, yeah. I want to do more of that. I should look for people that, I should rate people that are, like, reading and stuff right now, too, if this is what I'm doing. Wait, what did I do yesterday? Oh, okay, never mind. Again, I, like, lose my mind on stuff. Anyway. Aaron, it really was him answering the phone, not his assistant. Oh, right, she called him. Sorry. I forgot that's what they were doing. Aaron, it really was him answering the phone and not his assistant. That floored her. Still, she could play it cool. Good morning, Mr. Good morning, Mr. Gallinus. This is Samara Reynolds. Miss Reynolds. Warmth and excitement flowed through his voice, as if he was really happy to hear from her. He confirmed it when he said, "It's a pleasure to hear from you today." Sam fought the urge to fidget. This tone definitely wasn't hoodie guy. I'm going to pause and say, for anyone that's, like, new to listening, they met at a convention. He tried to find her at this convention. He did find her, but she only knew him as a hoodie guy, as a hoodie character. That's why she's mentioning that. So I'm going to keep reading. It certainly wasn't warm and eager. Benji. No, this deep, self-assured, formal voice belonged to Aaron, founder and chief executive officer of Artemis Games. She had the Artemis Games CEO's personal phone number. She let that realization wash over her like a bucket of icy water, leaving her wide-eyed and shocked. I honestly expected to get voicemail or your assistant. This is my personal phone, which means you have direct access to me, he explained. Given the nature of the project, there's no need to have a screener between us. I'm going to pause. I leave that headphone warning on for a reason. It does not matter what is going on. I could be playing a calm game. I will never be calm. Especially when it comes to romance content. I'm already freaking out. So, yeah. Don't ever expect to have, like... This is like a lighthearted book, by the way. So, don't ever expect, like, these heavy romance stuff. 1, I don't do that. 2, no. Just no. I could barely handle this. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. That would have made sense, except for the fact that they have exchanged phone numbers before he had given her a job. She wouldn't remind him of that, though. That wouldn't be businesslike of her, and this call was all about business. Miss Reynolds, he called her name as if he had said it more than once. Have you given that thought to my offer? You weren't joking when you said you like to get to the point. When it comes to my company, no, I don't joke. Good, that made it much easier to remain professional. Then I'll get to my point. Rise Consulting has reviewed the initial contract that you sent over. We've given your offer some thought and made some changes. All right, he didn't sound upset that the changes were made. Made sense, negotiations were a normal part of business contracts. I just sent the contract back to you. After you and your people have had a chance to review it, I have some questions I'd like to discuss with you before I make a decision. Of course, I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Would be better to meet in person or in person to discuss things. Or we could do a video call if you prefer. I think in person would be best. Curiosity burned through her. She'd seen Hoodie Guy and Khaki CEO. How was he when in his power center? Would he have an aura of command the way he exuded charisma at the Artemis panel, and would he'd ask to work with him? It was easy to imagine the man attached to his voice to be a business suit wearing commander of the business he created and built with his own hands. Then again, he had yet to do anything she'd expected. That button down with the Artemis logo embroidered on it was probably as formal as the company got, which suggested that his office wasn't one of the massive command centers she had seen in other companies. Seeing him in person would satisfy her curiosity and give her real time observations of his demeanor as they negotiated. When would be a good time for you? She finally asked. Or should I talk to your assistant Grayson to schedule an appointment? You're a special hire, Miss Reynolds, or soon to be hire, he said, his voice a peculiar mix of warmth and humor. I'm handling this process personally, including scheduling our meeting. When would be best for you? Shouldn't I be asking what your schedule is? I'm sure the schedule of the head of a company is fuller than mine. Your time is important to me, Miss Reynolds, which is why I named an amount that I think your time is worth. I doubt that suggested changes you've made to the contract are I can't read. Insurmountable. Besides, I don't want you to have any reason to not accept the offer. Oh, the man would be smooth when he wanted to be. There weren't many reasons to not accept the offer, but she did have concerns she wanted to address. I'm free any time this week after 4:30. When is a good time for you? He paused, probably checking his calendar. She fully expected him to be too busy today or soon after returning home from the convention. So it surprised her when he said, "My schedule will be clear later today, so I'll be able to give you my full attention uninterrupted." Lord, she must have caught a cold or some other variety of con crud without realizing it. It was the only explanation for why she read flirtatious. Wait, what? Innuendos into everything he said. What? My schedule will be clear later today, so I'll be able to give you. Oh! I did not read it that way. How does it sound that way? My schedule will be clear later today, so I'll be able to give you my full attention uninterrupted. That doesn't sound flirtatious. Am I just dumb? He just verified earlier that how important the contract is and how he wanted to make sure that they are able to verify it. So it doesn't sound flirtatious to me. It doesn't sound flirtatious to me. Lord, she must, and he's not flirty either. He's the shy guy. The boss is a shy guy from the beginning of the book. He's terrified of even like touching people. So maybe that's just what we know, though. I don't think she knows that, though. It doesn't sound flirty to you either. Lord, she must have caught a cold or some other variety of con crud without realizing it. It was the only explanation for why she read flirtatious innuendos into she said everything. Everything he said. The man had just told her he didn't joke about his May, that's why. He flirted joke about his business. She needed to remember that and forget about the relationship jokes that makes sense. Max and Quinn had showered her with. Thank you. Are your headquarters still north of Atlanta? Yes, while most of my employees work remotely, Artemis Games has a small office space property near Perimeter Center. She whistled silently. The square footage had to be pricey. Girl, why are you thinking about money? The King building or the Queen? The Queen, he answered. There are plenty of restaurants nearby. After we finalize the decision on the contract, we can have dinner to celebrate. Boy! Flaunting money, probably unintentionally, but still. Um, she hesitated. That formal tone was so at odds with the picture of him that resided in her head. The assumptive confidence that she'd sign the contract later that day, the power flex of an office in the property, the version of Aaron was the most intimidating yet. Luckily, she had experience dealing with those types. She was not the one to be intimidated. The presumptive close, she murmured. That's very smooth of you. Okay, no, I don't like the way he sounds. His soft laugh sounded way too intimate to her ears. Yep, definitely con crud. I presume nothing when it comes to you, Miss Reynolds. In fact, I think I just showed my hand to you. I'm at your mercy. Boy, I'm about to smack you with this bookmark! Okay, hold on, I'm sorry. I need a minute. I grabbed the first thing I had and it was the bookmark. uh, You're not at the mercy. Okay, whatever. I need a minute. I want that hot chocolate she's drinking. I have to feel like I have to push myself through just to get through these things. No, literally, when I read these books, I throw them across the wall, or I have to put it down like every couple pages. This is why it's hard for me to finish a book. No wonder she's like so tough. Business. This is about business. This is not about business. You and us readers both know it's not about business. Dinner will depend on the outcome of our discussions, she warned him. You might not have a reason to celebrate when we're done talking. Girl, you about business. Let's go. Let's go. The odds are even, he reminded her. There's a 50% chance you'll say, "Oh, I don't like the sound of him right now. He was a shy, cute guy in the very beginning of the book. I'm about to smack you." I can't even get through the next sentence. The odds are even, he reminded her. There's a 50% chance that you'll say yes. I intend to up these odds in my favor during our meeting this afternoon. Boy, just... Ugh. That confidence was amusing, awe-inspiring, and pushing her contrarian button. She almost rejected the gig right then, but that would be cutting off her nose to spite her face, and her parents didn't raise no fools. I look forward to it. Girl, I would have just smacked him through the phone. Same here, Miss Reynolds. See you this afternoon. Another tactic. End the conversation while you were ahead. Okay. See you then, Mr. Gallinus. Goodbye. The rest of Samara's day passed in a blur. Her current contract was in its last days, and while Rise Consulting had several new contract opportunities, her mother had agreed that the Artemis contract was not only lucrative, but also would give Samara an opportunity to create the change she had long dreamed of. The chance to work with one of the hottest gaming companies out there, directly with the CEO to correct issues of equity and inclusion, combined two of her passions in a way she couldn't ignore. Hi, Blood. How are you? Welcome, welcome. You're just getting to the good part of Game On, or at least one of the good parts. She shook her head in wonderment as she got into her car to head to the Silver Springs, just outside of the Paramount North of Atlanta. When she started the Legend Files hashtag against the game developer a few weeks back, she had no idea that this is where she would land. Honestly, if anyone had told her that Artemis would offer her a job, she'd have laughed at them and told them to stop using illegal substances, because I don't know if I can say this word during stream. Now, she was the one who had to pinch herself to make sure she wasn't dreaming. There really wasn't a reason to not accept the contract. Her current contract work was winding down. Her nearest and dearest thought was the perfect opportunity for her. So how could she refuse it? She asked herself the question many times since the convention, and she still didn't have an answer. So why was she hesitating? Because she liked Benji, the hoodie guy, dang it. They'd had a conversation, and when the talk veered away from Artemis Games, they had a good vibe going. She had believed that she had come away with a new friend, a new ally. Even though he seemed very open and honest during their phone call, she knew already that he would would fudge the truth if it got him the result he wanted. Girl, get it together and get over yourself, she muttered. Manifesting lingering ill will toward the potential boss was not the way to get into a job. She understood his reasoning for going undercover. In his place, she probably would have done the same. When someone was straight with you when explaining why they did what they did and apologized profusely, you were supposed to forgive and forget, figure out how to move forward, right? Which is why she'd asked for the face-to-face meeting. She wanted to look him in the eyes while they discussed the contract. She needed to know if there was actual work involved or if she was just a publicity hire. The answer to the question and whether he honestly answered or not would determine whether she would work with him or not. With traffic miraculously on her side, she arrived at Concourse Cooperative Center 15 minutes ahead of schedule. She parked, then navigated her way through the parking deck to the office towers known officially as Concourse Cooperative Center 5 and 6, but everyone called them the King and Queen buildings due to their white crowns that lit the skyline after dark. See, I would skip this because it just gives way too many details. Yes, Game On is a real book. Let Headphone Cat read the book. Headphone Cat, read the book. They're going to lose their voice if they keep reading. Sam entered the building, Queen lobby, then consulted the directory from Artemis Games. Nerves began to flutter in her belly as she crossed the elevators. Darn it! Why'd I do that? Now Pato clipped it! Now I'm screaming. Nerves began to flutter in her belly as she crossed to the elevators, superstitiously studying herself in the shiny facade of one of the lifts. Makeup perfect with the nude... I don't want to read the description of how she looks. Braids gathered in sophisticated updo black dress trousers with the subtle pinstrip with 3-inch black-red pumps. Ooh, pumps. A string of pearls, I want pearls, her parents had given her after college graduation, draped the scoop neckline of her lilac blouse. A very muted yet professional appearance overall. Girl, are you sure it's professional? A perfect first impression look if she encountered anyone else from the company. The only standout was her red leather business tote, a present from her father after she'd gotten her business degree. Take that, Mr. Gallinus. I have an alter ego too. Okay. It didn't take long for an elevator car to arrive, spilling out workers reminiscent of a school letting out for the day. She wondered how many of them were Artemis Game employees, and figured that those in business suits probably weren't. She stepped into the empty car, then... Ooh. All the emotes. She stepped into the empty car, then punched the number. The butterflies in her belly increased, but the nerves were more of anticipation than fear. Ooh, they did a misspelling. That's surprising. Aaron Gallinus wanted her on the project, and he'd said that gave her an advantage in negotiation. Although, as far as she was concerned, after her mother had reviewed the contract, there wasn't much to negotiate. That 3-month contract paid more than her salary for the entire previous year. Her stomach leapt as the elevator slowed, stopped, opened. She stepped out, and a crowd of people streamed past her in a rush to leave their workday behind. Several of them glanced at her in mild curiosity, and a couple of them outright stared. Probably Artemis executives, probably unhappy with her. Take that, Mr. Krabs. Yep. I keep hitting the mic in my bed. Ah, oh no, I hurt the book. Impending employment, she raised her chin. That was reason enough to accept the offer. Knowing her worth, Samara turned right and strutted down the hall. The hallway opened in reception area in muted earth tone colors. Behind the reception kiosk stood large glass doors emblazoned with Artemis Games in big bold type and the company's logo. A young woman who looked fresh out of college stood as she approached. "Hello, welcome to Artemis Games," she said. "Are you Miss Reynolds?" As was foretold, she almost said, but how are you going to say that out loud? As foretold. Who says that? As foretold. She said, but the receptionist looked so serious she dialed her humor down. Yes. She reached for her phone. "I'll let Mr. Galanis know that you're here. Please have a seat." Samara perched on the edge of one of the soft leather-like chairs. Wait, hold on. Okay, what are you talking about? Samara There's always a way to do that, Bathel. There's always a way to do that. Samara perched on the edge of one of the. Oh, wait, hold on. I should wait for the song to. Okay. Oh, there it is. Samara perched on the edge of one of the soft leather-like chairs, her bag balanced on her knees. She wasn't sure what she expected of the Artemis Games corporate office, but she hadn't imagined something so corporate-y. Just as she checked others' assumptions about her, sometimes she had to check herself. Glancing at the glass doors again, she saw a man in glasses striding towards her, pale green dress, skirt tucked into navy dress pants with a navy tie with flecks of green around his neck. He smiled at her as he reached for the door handle, and she realized in a flash of shock that he was Aaron Galanis. "Miss Reynolds, welcome." The wide grin lit his features. "I hope traffic wasn't too bothersome getting here." He spoke in full-on CEO mode, his tone formal. The man must be a Gemini with all those personalities stuffed into his brain. She struck out her hand and he grasped it, his hold warm and firm. She tried to remember if they had shaken hands at the convention. "No, it wasn't," she belatedly said. "The traffic gods were on my side today." "Girl, why are you talking like that?" "Lucky for us. Why didn't you come in and I'll give you a quick tour of our offices?" "Thank you." Okay, I'm looking at some other stuff right now. He led her through the doors to open an area of low-walled, bright white cubicles, the walls painted in the company's logo colors. "You saw our reception area. This area is where marketing and sales happen. The bulk of our customer service calls are handled by an off-site call center. Our designer and developers work in those two open areas to foster collaboration when they're in the office." He pointed to two large rooms on either side of the hallway. They were light and airy with sizable U-shaped pods filled with large monitors and docking stations. Posters of some of the Artemis Games' most iconic characters grace the walls of each room, with only one, a male with bronze skin. "I don't know if I mentioned it, but we encourage our employees to telework if they want." Ooh, the executive team comes in a couple times a week, but almost everyone's duties can be done remotely. Remote work. She had a decent enough setup at home, but her computer was in her bedroom. That was fine since she kept it in dark with gaming and streaming, but she wasn't sure it would be appropriate for work meetings. She'd have to work in the dining room or invest in better lighting and background screens. There were a few people still working in both rooms, and they stared at her with avid curiosity as she and Aaron walked past. He didn't introduce her, and she supposed that he wouldn't until she was officially on board. After the collaboration spaces, they passed what looked like a well-stocked and inviting lounge area, complete with the company's top games and queued up 4 massive monitors. Pretty cool setup for the employees to take a break. Past the lounge were a few glassed-in offices flanking the hallway. "These are the executive offices," he said, gesturing to them as they approached the end of the hallway. "And here's where I work." Here was very similar to the reception area outside, but in soothing shades of gray and blue instead of earth tones. She expected a dynamic and energetic color schemes like the open work areas, then remembered that even though his company was fun and gaming, Aaron said he took his business very seriously. Here in the power center of Artemis Games, that was fully apparent. Grayson stood as they approached. "Hello, Miss Reynolds. It's nice to see you again." "You too." He looked very dapper today in a navy blue sweater vest over a blue dress shirt. Amazingly, he got the navy blue sweater to match the navy khakis. She nodded in appreciation. That took a special skill, but it wasn't the season for sweaters. Then again, since the ambient temperature in the office seemed to be set just above a refrigerator level, she could understand his sartorial decision. "Would you like something to drink, Miss Reynolds?" Grayson asked. "We have just about everything." "Green tea? Hot or cold?" "Hot with two Splendas would be great, thank you." "Of course," he looked at Aaron. "Boss?" "Ooh, I'll have the same." Grayson looked momentarily surprised, but quickly regained his composure. "I'll bring it shortly." Aaron gestured to the glassed in entrance to his office. "After you." There's a P-Dove in the Pokemon community games, if anyone wants to catch that. And while that is happening, I am going to start an ad break to give my throat a moment to pause. And I'm going to mention this because I just remembered. So when I do these voicing roles, so voice acting, the Ochime games, and reading these books, I am going to keep it to 2 hours just to keep my voice good because I don't want to strain my voice or hurt it. And then tomorrow when I do writing, yes, when I do writing, those aren't usually long either. Shadow has the joy potion with what kind of future? What kind of future? Because usually they don't go long because it's just editing and stuff, and then I don't usually write for long. So these kind of streams are just going to be 2 hours. If I do games, they might go over 2. Joy, because you're lucky. You're having a lucky day. I hope that's actually true. How's your day going? How's your day going, Shadow? Ow. Oh, I'm glad. What's been going on? What's been going on? Tell me. I'll pause the ad. What are you doing for work? What are you doing for work? Tell me before I go on break. I'm gonna wait a minute. Oh, that's all you can say? Oh! Oh yeah, no, that's it. Just working at the university. That's cool. That's cool. I know that there were some where they like pay your they help pay with like the whatever the degree you're getting. I feel like I probably should have done that. I feel like I probably should have done that. I recommend it. But yeah, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. We are gonna go on a quick break just so that I can give my throat a rest, and then when I come back, yeah, tuition, tuition. It was given something. I swear, it had a specific name. It was some kind of work something. I don't know, but yeah, it would help with that instead of me just having a regular job to help pay my bills. One of those. Anyway, I'm looking to see if I can find the button that plays an ad. Apparently I have, every time I have to like add it. But anyway, we will be back in about 3 minutes or more. You want to do the love barrage? Hold on. I have to pull up a model for that. I will have a model in a moment. Hold on. I did this just in case I needed to pull up a model. So we should see a model in a moment. We should! I literally pulled it up to test it. Do we have it enabled? Where is my model? There it is. It should work. If not, I should be able to throw it anyway. Oh, the thing's not up. That's why. That's okay. Hold on. I'll put it up for you. You have the loves. Yes, you have the loves. Where is my thing anyway? Test bunks. Where is it? Oh, there it is. I might need my moth. Might need my moth. Man, I miss this model. I miss this model. Yeah, I love this model since it came out. I just wanted to switch around for a little bit. Oh, there it is. That's the model. Do I need to open something else? Hey, Moth, I can't remember if I'm supposed to open something else. Wait, what issue?
See how it says at the top, connect from VTube Studio.
Oh.
You have to open to VTube Studio settings.
Oh, hold on. Again. Again. I just like doing it a lot. All the loves. And a chromie. One more. 3. I don't know why. 3 for good measure. Thank you for the love barrage. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do that break. I know, all the squeaks, right? All the squeaks. I feel like the camera's looking weird, though. Anyway, that's for later. So we're going to be back after the ad break, about 3 minutes or more. I need to hydrate, but everyone else can hydrate too. Grab a snack, use the litter box, whatever you need, and we will be back. Leaving the ad on does help support the stream, but I'll see everyone in a little bit. Bye-bye. I'll see everyone just a little bit. I haven't done the BRB screen in a while, so I hope everyone enjoys that. got worried for that milk tank for a second. Apparently, I have to go back over to the other one because I'm streaming on multiple places. Hi. Oh, I didn't feel good like a second ago. How's everyone doing? Ugh. No! I was actually really hoping to get that milk tank. Okay. Alright. So, we're on chapter 9. Considering how time is going, I am going to... Oh, chapter 9 might actually not be long. I'm going to see where we are after we finish chapter 9. I don't know if we'll have time for the next 2 chapters, but I'll see where we are after chapter 9. So I'm going to see after chapter 9 and 10. Because that last chapter took, like, the whole hour. I don't know if I got distracted. Anyway. I'm going to take a minute. Okay. Samara stepped through the open door in a spacious office. This was definitely an executive's domain, with 2 of the walls made entirely of windows offering a... Okay, why do executives have stuff like this? Do they need to show off for their money or what? Anyway, an executive's domain with 2 of the walls made entirely of windows offering a 180-degree view of the North Atlanta skyline. The soothing blue and gray decor continued, anchored by a charcoal gray of office-grade carpet. An oval conference... Sorry, I just thought of something. Grade carpet, an oval conference table with 12 chairs ringing it sat closer to the door on the left. What looked like an interactive whiteboard hung on the wall behind it, with a conference phone tech inputs embedded with the center of the table. I just remembered something I have to do, and I'm going to do that right now before I forget. You know what? I actually don't need to do that. Okay, I got it. A leather sectional occupied the space in front of one of the glass walls, and by the other perched a sleek executive desk and low credenza. The other windowless wall held a progression of pictures documenting the history, present, and possible future of the company. Curious, she moved closer. The first picture showed a teenage version of Aaron with the loose grin on his face. A tall man with dark brown hair graying at the temples stood beside him. One arm around Aaron's shoulders, his grin matched Aaron's, leaving no doubt as to their connection. That's me at 16. I'm trying to... That's me at 16, Aaron said quietly. Pride echoed in his voice. And that's my father, Alessandro. The photo was taken on the day I finished developing my first game, a birthday present for my brother Benji. Aww. Aww. That's cute. Wait, did he take his brother's name? He took his brother's name? He pretended to be a hoodie guy and he took his brother's name? Wait. Wait, I'm trying to look for in the book. I can hear myself in the other room. Wait, they mentioned the name Benji. His fake name was Benji, wouldn't it? That's his brother's name? I can't remember things. His fake name was Benji, wouldn't it? And he's saying that's his brother? Does he have a disabled brother? That's why he cares about that? So I should keep reading and I'll find out. Instead of me looking back, I should keep reading. Yeah, no, literally, that's the next sentence. Ah, Sam thought. So that's where the name Benji comes from. My father was so impressed, he helped me set up an LLC. I decided to call it Artemis Games in honor of my mother and maternal grandmother. Oh, okay. Okay. He was he was going straight for the emotional juggler, hitting her directly in the feels. Any lingering animosity dissolved like suds going down a drain. How could she be mad at someone who created a game for his brother and named a company after his mother and grandmother? 'Cause he's trying to fool you. Anyway, I don't never trust a man. Never trust a man. I'm just getting into character for what's going on here. She tried to distance herself from the emotion. Exactly. Alessandro, Artemis, and Aaron. Why is your brother named Benji? Oh yeah, why is their brother named Benji? Actually, his first name is Artis. What the fudge? Arist Aristotle, and his middle name is Benjamin. He hated his first name, even when my mom shortened it to Ari. He likes being called Benji, so Benji it is. He reached out, touched the picture frame, his expression brimming and sat with a sad reflection. My mother took this picture because Dad was my first investor. That was the last summer we had with him. Girl, stop right there. He's trying to manipulate you with some sad stories. Stop. Stop. Stop right there. Pause. Pause. No. Stop it. No, this is the next thing she does. Sam covered her mouth. Such an important photo marking the beginning of Artemis Games and the end of his time with his father. How difficult was it for him to come into his office every day, see the photo, and be reminded that he'd lost his father? Aaron cleared his throat. I believe this is what's known as killing the mood. Boy! This is such a big setup. I don't believe this for one dang minute. Watch his dad come in during their first dinner or something. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like this is fake. I feel like this is fake. Okay. Aaron cleared his throat. I believe this is what's known as killing the mood. Because he didn't have to mention it. Anyway. It's not, she protested. I can see how proud your father was of you. Capturing the moment is precious and reminds you to live up to the promise your father saw in you when he helped you start your company. This is there's too much cheese in this, man. About to be lactose intolerant up in here. Anyway, you're right. Warmth flooded his tone again. Man, I like cheesy stuff, but you're giving me a character that doesn't like being fooled, and you're giving her so much stuff that feels like a big setup. You think she wouldn't fall for that. Now I'm just getting mad. Okay. You're right. Warmth flooded his tone again, chasing the sadness away. Chasing the sadness away. Okay. You can see how the company's life has unfolded. Our first official game launched, the first employee, second if you count me as the first that we hired, the first million in sales, the first time we hit triple digits, our IPO opening, our headquarters here. He stopped at the last picture, a road running straight into the sunrise, and finally the aspirational photo showing that our future is bright as long as we keep driving forward. She glanced up at him at the moment he turned to face her. She felt a little blip as their gaze met, locked. This guy was too good to be true, yet she was getting swept up in his hopes and dreams and plans for the company. And damn it, she wanted to contribute to those hopes and dreams and plans. We're only 86 pages in out of like 400. Really? Not even like 100 pages in. Sir, Miss Reynolds, Grayson glided into the room bearing a tray of steaming mugs. He placed it on the highly reflective surface of the table in front of the sectional. Your tea is ready. Aaron cleared his throat again as his assistant nodded, then left. I suppose that's the signal to return to the business at hand, he said, gesturing toward the sectional. If you would. They were just like arguing over the phone, either highly flirting at each other or being aggressive in saying how much he's gonna try to convince her to work for him. You know, shouldn't I be playing music or something? I forgot I should be doing that. My bad.
Thank you for your devotion. It's much appreciated.
Pato, I say play music. Pato over here coming at the good times, man. Do y'all hear fireplace sounds? Man, about to over here with all the good timings. Should we make it nighttime? No, we don't need nighttime music. It's evening where I am. I'm gonna do it like this. What music do I want? Maybe not music. I think sounds. I like rain sounds. I'm sorry, I kept it quiet this whole time with just my voice. I should have played sounds. I forgot about doing that. So whenever I do these, I should play sounds, pick a setting, and pick a creature. Bato, next time you pick the creature, remind me that. All the pride emotes with the little fire chromie. I should put the I should switch the fire chromie to the black one at some point, just to see if there's a difference. Anyway, she preceded him to the seating area, then waited for him to take his preferred seat so that she'd know where to sit. He again gestured, this time to the long part of the sectional facing the window. Why don't you sit there? That way you can enjoy the view. She is the view. It's raining. Yeah, it's watering the flower fields. There was no part of the seating area or the entire office that blocked the outstanding view. Still, she perched onto the center seat while Erin sat on the corner part to her left. She reached for her tea, noting that Grayson had brought biscotti and shortbread cookies too. It was a thoughtful gesture, but she wasn't going to eat one. The last thing she needed was cookie crumbles on her dress pants or stuck in her teeth. Instead, she removed the tea bag from the mug closest to her, added the sweetener, and gave it a swirl, then sat back. Erin did the same. When I'm in the office, I usually work until sunset. Not only is it beautiful from here, but I use the moment as an opportunity to examine everything I did that day, determine if my actions made the company better than it started. I don't think I can get any more impressed, she said, looking at him over the rim of her mug. You don't have to keep laying it on so thick. Okay, I don't understand these people. I'm going to just say it now. I don't understand their interactions. He frowned for a moment, then his expression blanked. There's no need to be impressed, Miss Reynolds. I am the CEO. It's my job to conceive of ways to improve Artemis Games. I have a responsibility to the people who work with me and those that invest in us. Then he smiled. Hopefully today I'll be able to say that signing you definitely made the company better. That's not subtle at all. It wasn't meant to be, and I'm not known for my subtlety in any form or fashion. I hope I can answer whatever questions you may have to your satisfaction. I am eager to close this deal today. I can already feel my throat getting upset. Oh, that's because I didn't drink. I forgot the part about drinking. Hold on. I keep talking about drinking and then I don't do it. Hat! Just realized something, but I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm doing the hydrate now. Okay, now I'm going to redeem it again. Ow. Ugh, that's the thing I was going to not mention. Okay. Okay. Erin blew across the rim of his mug before taking a careful sip. The green tea wasn't bad, but he usually preferred chai or matcha blend. No idea why he'd impossibly mimic her drink selection. Okay. Tip. Pro tip. The reason he copied her drink, may have been
You look healthy, but don't forget to stretch.
Oh, thank you for the stretch. I'm gonna do a stretch. The reason stretch. The reason he copied her drink. The reason he probably unconsciously copied her drink, even though he doesn't care for it too much, is that when you like someone, you tend to copy their mannerisms. It's not just people that you have a crush on. It's also people that you might like really like or admire or things like that. For example, I have this coworker that I talk to a lot, and I'm starting to copy their phrases. Like one of the things that they say is bet, so now I'm saying that. One of the things that they also say is what else did they say? I've literally recently have been saying it too. I don't know. One of the other things that I say that they've been copying is slay. It's such an old term, but I say slay and now they're saying it, so we're like bouncing off each other. But that's why he's doing that. He copied her drink, even though he doesn't care for it too much, because he likes her. So you copy each other's phrases. You'll copy what they're doing. So let's say let's say the person you have a crush on is crossing their legs or whichever. Then you start crossing your legs. If they're putting their hand on their face, you'll put your hand on your face. You'll start copying mannerisms. You'll start copying a lot of stuff. If you do something funny, you'll look immediately at them for a response. You'll do a lot of things when you like someone. It doesn't always have to be romantic, but that's why he did that. What is that? Is that one to like scare me, or why would that be a redeem? Why would that one be a redeem? Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. We're probably not gonna have enough time to do another chapter, but I'll finish chapter 9. Oh, I was gonna turn the page. He had no idea why he impulsively mimicked her drink selection, but he seemed to incline to impulsive actions around her, like trying this tea. He took another sip while convertently studying Samara. Yep, you tend to do that. She's been striking on her con gear and copper-colored curls, appearing much younger than her actual age, but this business professional look knocked him back on his heels. Which version was the real Samara? Maybe they both were. It didn't matter. He told her the truth when she said he was eager to immediately sign the contract, bring her aboard, and officially kick off their collaboration. Hopefully, that didn't come across as too pushy. He returned his mug to the table, ready to get started. You said you had some questions for me. Feel free to ask anything. I'll answer what I can. All right, she leaned forward to return her still steaming mug to the table, then dug into her bright red bag to extract an equally bright red planner. She opened it, then pulled out a pen. First, if I accept this position, will I be given company equipment to use? Easy question. Did that mean the questions got harder the further they went along? Yes, you'll be given a company laptop with all the software you need. Our tech support team will set up your credentials and get you into our systems. Okay, she made a note, then looked up to ask her second question. Would I be working here in the office or working remotely? A harder question that needed a nuanced answer. Too bad he didn't do nuance. He just have to spit it out and deal with her reaction after. Since we need to be in direct, in-the-moment communication for this collaboration to work, you'll work in the office then when I'm in the office. When I'm remote in my home office, you'll work there too. He waited, studying her face, watching for an indication of her thoughts. Her expression flattened, her gaze hooded, her body still. Then she looked up at him, her eyes direct and assessing. Alone? Understanding the quiet query, Aaron shook his head. No. Grayson is there 8 to 5, sometimes longer if there's a need. And there's a housekeeper, Mrs. Jeffries, who comes 3 times a week. It is an actual office, and while the view isn't as grand as this, I think it's spectacular in its own way. Her gaze dropped to her planner. She considered his words. It probably seemed strange to her wanting to work out of his home office, although the scenery had changed. Working there reminded him of the earlier days of Artemis Games, where it was just him, a laptop, and his dreams. How does the jump scare redeem work? Well, now I want to stare at the jump scare redeem. What the fudge is the jump scare redeem? Ha! Dragon's Horde. Wait, where is it? I'm gonna cry now! What was that? The jump scare was for me, I'm sorry. Because I get scared easily. That's to throw at me and scare me. That's what it is. Maybe we should throw a visual in there. You know what? Maybe I should throw a visual in there. I'm trying to regain that. Ugh. Who did that though? I didn't see who redeemed. Did someone redeem that? I didn't see. Kit did that? When did you get back? Hi, Kit. Oh, you gave me the stretch earlier. That's what happened. I'm like, I thought I saw you earlier, and I lost my memory. It wasn't you, nuh-uh. Catch me in your stream. Catch me in your stream later. Next time, catch me in your stream later. That's what's going to happen. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, Emilio. We should add... I was actually thinking about that. With the sound, add the FNAF character. But yeah, thank you. Because I was actually looking for the button, and I'm like, I'm blind. I can't see it. But thank you. It's actually something to consider now, how to edit that one. So that was a good test. Thank you. Now, where was I? We were reading a romance novel. Where was I? Oh, okay. Her gaze dropped to her plan as she considered his words. It probably seemed strange to her wanting to work out of his home office. Although the scenery had changed, working there reminded him of the... Oh yeah, we would just get that part. Truth to be told, he partially instituted the telework policy because he hated coming to the office, hated the traffic getting here, the crowd of people flooding into the building, the noise they generated. So, I feel that. Sometimes he came in around 6 a.m. just to avoid the... I do that Does anyone else go to work early just to avoid people? You have too many points anyway. Anyone else go to work early just to avoid people? I get to work early to catch my parking spot. I like my parking spot. Yeah, I count that. Taking night shifts, you brave, brave soul. I need my sleep. I need to be sleeping at night. I will be angry if I don't get my sleep. Yeah, I get to work early just so I can grab a parking spot. And then I have a friend tell me that they try to stay in their car as long as possible before they go into the building. I try to get into the building before I see people, just to not drag it out, and then I hide in my office to avoid people and to avoid going to start work until I actually have to start. That's my way to do it. Wait, Moth, do you do something like that? Because you go into work early. Sometimes he came in around 6 a.m. just to avoid throngs. If it meant Samara would sign the contract, he'd swallow down his issues and come to the office every day. Earbuds and soothing music would probably blunt the bulk of it. Now that's when you know you like someone. That's when you know you love someone. If you're willing to put up with stuff, that's when you know you like someone. My friends will do that. If my friend goes in when everybody else is coming in, I'll bear it. I'll bear it. My best friend is going in there. I'll go in with them. You go in early, but it's not to avoid people. You sure? She clipped her pen back in the planner, then folded her hands on top of it. That was a bad sign, wasn't it? When she spoke, her tone was coldly formal. You do realize that any hint of impropriety will reflect negatively on me. Not you, correct? Oh. No, he didn't. He hadn't realized that because of the idea of impropriety never crossed his mind. I understand your concerns, but rest assured I have no intentions or desire to do anything other than my work, Miss Reynolds. This project and its outcome are too important to me and to you, too. I'm sure to allow anything... Wait, hold on. I'm sure to allow anything to overshadow. We had a good flow of ideas going, and you brought up some very good points. That's why I want to collaborate with you, and that's why I want to brainstorm in person. Okay, I understand that. Also, it is entirely possible that after the first couple of weeks we'll have locked in our game plan and timeline, which means you won't need to collaborate with me face to face. Is that satisfactory? Yes, she hesitated, then said, I didn't intend to insult you. I just need to make sure that my side of the street is clean. He had no idea what that meant, but he didn't ask about it. I'm not insulted. I simply wanted to make sure that the terms are agreeable. They are, she answered, nodding for emphasis. Speaking of terms, I realize the compensation isn't based on hourly rate. Are you expecting there to be any night or weekend work? Okay. My weekends are reserved for my weekends are reserved for my family, he answered. We encourage a healthy work-life balance here. However, after you and Grayson leave for the day, I will probably continue working. Of course, I'll update you the next day so that we'll stay on the same page. That's fair. She pulled her pen free and made more notes. He had a sudden desire to take a peek, but that would negate all that he had reassured her up to this point. Do you have any other questions for me? Just one, she closed her planner. Oh, this is a hard question. This other question she has is hard. Just one, she closed her planner. Why me? The soft question brought him up short. Excuse me? She pulled her bottom lip between her teeth before clarifying. Why did you pick me to help you with this? He leaned forward, dropping his elbows on his knees. You impressed me with your panel. Our lunch conversation showed me that we had good knowledge to exchange and better synergy on several topics. Your professional credentials are a necessary bonus. I like your enthusiasm and desire for change, and I think it matches my own. You believe passionately in the things that are important to you, and same as I do, the passion, energy, and enthusiasm combined with your credentials are what I need to bring this project to life. If anyone can help me do that, I firmly believe you can. She blinked, eyes wide. He looked down to hide. Oh gosh. Okay, hold on. Nope. The next words you think would be something bad, but it's not. It's just me freaking out. He looked down to hide his smile, then looked up again. You seem surprised by my answer. Well, she spread her hands in a helpless gesture. Y'all just too cute. Just put on the ring and go down the aisle. Shut up. Well, she spread her hands in a helpless gesture. What you call passion and enthusiasm, other people would call anger and sarcasm. Okay. Jabba the Hutt, too cute. I forgot something. Okay. He leaned forward, making sure he had her attention. In that moment, do those other... Ooh! Hold on. Let me go back. Roll back. He leaned forward, making sure he had her attention. In this moment, do those other people matter? Wide eyes and parted lips detonated surprise, leaning backward. Rejection, then leaning forward again. Agreement. No, she finally said, then gave him a smile that showed a dimple in her left cheek. No, they don't. Good. Do you have any other questions for me? You've answered the most important ones. Then have you come to a decision or do you need more time? She returned her planet to her bright red bag. No, I don't need more time. He sat silent, trying to glean anything from her expression, her posture, her tone. Being able to read people was a vital part of his job as he interacted with employees, the public, and investors. Sitting here waiting for her to give him her decision, he couldn't read her at all, and the fact made him anxious. He smothered the anxiety down, and he smothered all difficult emotion. Whatever her answer was, he'll deal with it and move on. I've decided to accept the offer. Really? Yes, she smiled. I also enjoyed our conversation we had during lunch, and I also want you to know that I understand why you went incognito during the con. She understood. Does that mean she wasn't mad at him any longer? He decided to clarify. So you're no longer upset. If I was, I wouldn't accept the contract. Her smile slanted. You had your reasons, very valid reasons.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. I'm like, wait, what? Ah! I see it now. Hold on. Hold up. 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 I like the mime. Okay. What's in Nia? Sometimes when there's a specific Pokemon in the Pokemon community game, I am being reminded with the Nia to look at it and catch it. No! I didn't catch it anyway. I like Mime Jr. Mime Jr. showed up. I hate Mr. Mime. I hate Mr. Mime, but I love Mime Jr. I love Mime Jr. He's a cute little baby. Now go away, Moth! Go away, go away. Go away. Ew. I think for this chapter, yeah, we only have like another page or so. If I was, I wouldn't accept the contract. Her smile slanted. You had your reasons, very valid reasons. I respect that. Besides, our conversation was a good one, and we even did a little brainstorming. I like firing off ideas like that. To work with someone with the passion, talent, and resources to see them come to fruition, I definitely want that chance. Excellent. They were on the same page, just as he knew they would. He allowed himself a small smile as excitement began to build. Do you agree to the other terms in the contract? I should be asking you that question, she told him. Did you have the chance to review our stipulations? I did. The contract between Artemis Games and Rise Consulting. Any press releases from either party will reflect that. No mention of Samara Reynolds, and especially no mention of Ray of Sun in any official or unofficial communications. He frowned. It was the only change to the initial contract. Why? It's a protective measure for both of us, she explained. It will seem more like a business decision and less like a publicity stunt if you leverage Rise of Consulting's standing in the local business community. The work should be the focus, not the person doing the consulting. She was right. It galled him that he hadn't considered that. Based on your advocating efforts, I had thought it would be something you'd want to share. Who has a Tyranitar as a buddy? Oh, nice. Nice, Bato. You mean shout my victory from the rooftops? She shook her head. No, given some of my more vulnerable detractors, gamer and professional, we need to stay separate. Mark would be thrilled to revise the press release. Tomorrow, I'll get Janet to prepare the final contract and the NDA to send over to Rise. Once everything's official, we can do a joint press release. When can you start? I'm assuming that you have to transition your current client to another consult. Monday. Too soon and too far away. It would give him time to gather everything he needed to get her up to speed. He extended his hand. Welcome aboard, Miss Reynolds. I look forward to working with you on this project. Thank you, she said, taking his hand. I look forward to it as well. Shaking hands was a necessary part of doing business, a part Aaron usually gritted his teeth and endured for the seconds it took. He didn't mind shaking her hand, though. Okay, then, he cleared his throat as Grayson returned. Any final questions? Is everyone who works for you as dressed as Mr. or Miss? No, we're all a first-name basis here. Then why are you still called Miss Reynolds? You can Mega Evolve in the Pokemon community game? I like how Emilio is asking that same question. I just realized Moth left. I like all your emotes, Moth. Some of them be funny. Some of them be invisible. I don't know if you can Mega Evolve the Pokemon in the Pokemon community game. She sounded bothered. That's how you told me to address you when we talked after my panel at the convention. I did? She frowned. Oh, that was after I found out who you really were. I needed to distance then. She looked away, flustered. Since we're going to be working together, it's fine to call me Samara. He already called her by her first name in his head, but it was nice to say it out loud. Thank you, Samara. Samara it is. She felt silent, as if waiting. Waiting for what? He looked over to Grayson, who made a gesture he couldn't interpret. He didn't like to be at a disadvantage, but he needed a clarification. Am I missing something? I think I got lost over here. Hold on, what did I just read? Did I miss something? Hold on. Shaking hands was a necessary part of doing business. Okay, then he cleared his throat as Grayson returned. Any final questions? Is everyone who works for you addressed as Mr. or Mrs.? No, we're all on a first name basis around here. Then why are you still calling me Miss Reynolds? Okay, that's her talking. He says... Oh, wait, she sounded bothered. That's how... Wait, he says, that's how you told me to address you when we talked after my panel at the... Wait, who's saying what? That's where I'm confused. Wait, is there... We need Illuminati music? Can we add that? Hi, Neo. How are you? Welcome, welcome. We're actually going to wrap up in like 10 minutes, maybe? I'm trying to figure out where the fudge I got lost. I can't figure out who's talking. That's how you told me to address you when we talked after my panel at the convention. I think they mistyped this. Because the way it's worded, it doesn't make sense. Thank you, she said, taking his hand. I'm looking forward to it. Shaking hands was a necessary part. Any final questions? Because that means he's talking. And then she says, is everyone who works for you addressed as Mr. or Miss? He would be responding, no, we're all on a first name basis around here. She would respond, then why are you still calling me Miss Reynolds? And from the spacing of the book, he would be thinking she sounds bothered. So he would respond, that's how you told me to address you when we talked after my panel at the... Oh, wait, he's talking about his panel. I forgot he had one. No worry, Neo. It's a romance novel. I'm going to be doing this every week anyway, so I catch up everyone on what happened. I forgot he had a panel. I did, she frowned. Oh, that was after I found out who you really were. I needed to distance then. She looked flustered. Since we're going to be working together, it's fine to call me... Okay, no, the spacing is still odd on this one. Anyway, since we're going to be working together, it's fine to call me Samara. He already called her by her first name in his head, but it was nice to say it out loud. Thank you, Samara it is. She felt silent, as if waiting. Waiting for what? He looked over to Grayson, who made a gesture he couldn't interpret. He didn't like to be at a disadvantage, but he needed clarification. Am I missing something? Did I like the plush design? You're really good at drawing. You're really good at drawing. I'm going to put that up on the... I'm not sure if you saw it, Neo. I put the first one you drew on my website in the fan art section. But yeah, no, you're really good at drawing. I love the advertisement that you did, too. But yeah, no, you're really good at drawing. I love it. I love it. What creature is that on the table? That's a good question. Let's take a look. Actually, I have a book. Where do I... Oh, right here. It is... There's a new one?! I have to find it. Oh yeah, it was awesome. I really appreciate it, Neo. I need to put this new one on the website. It's an Wait. Yeah, there is an Among Us crewmate. Right here. Oh, wait, but we were talking about the bunny. It's going to be all the way... Oh, it's a dust bunny. It's a dust bunny. Legend has it the dust bunnies emerge from the... Oh, it just talks about it, but it's a dust bunny. That's what it is. It's a dust bunny. We can also... because it's Pride Month, it's a rainbow. But we can change the bunnies... Where'd it go? We can change the color of the bunny. It has all these color options. But let me finish this chapter or what? Noah, hi! Welcome, welcome. It's been a while. How have you been? Can I use the Among Us crewmate? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, we can use the Among Us crewmate at some point. For the next time I do the Lofi one. Look, he's hitting his little button! Okay, let me finish this chapter really quick. It only has like a couple sentences left. Am I missing something? Reciprocity, Samara said. Can I call you Aaron? Surprise and charging splashed through him. Haven't you been calling me by that name already? I called you Benji and Hoodie Guy in that conference room at the convention. It was Mr. Galanis. Oh. Well, he should have caught that. Then I would appreciate it if you would call me Aaron. He was rewarded with a genuine smile that caused dimples to appear in both her cheeks. Thank you, Aaron. If you don't mind, I'll take a rain check on dinner so I can begin wrapping up my current project. I'll see you Monday. Monday couldn't come fast enough. Okay, that was the end of that chapter. Your birthday's in 2 days! Aw, my last stream is tomorrow. Happy early birthday, Noah! What are you doing for your birthday? But yeah, look at the little cutie. He's hitting his little button. He's hitting his little button. Isn't that... Oh! Was that a Pixar movie? I know that lizard. I just didn't realize it was a Pixar movie. I like looking at that. I love that meme. I love that meme. It is so funny. It is so funny. Lizard. It was all over people's... Not even just videos. It's also like an emo option too. For people. Yeah. I love it. I just didn't realize it was part of a movie though. I was always wondering where it came from. And it's gotta do more than that button, right? It's gotta do more than just hit the button. Oh, and as for the Among Us one, I'm just gonna show it for a second. I like the purple one because it's purple, but you also have other options for colors. Oh, yes, it's a green one. This one has a hat. No, today's not my last stream of the week. I'm going to keep it purple. But I'm going to go back to the Pride one. Because I want to end off the stream with that one. That's technically... Look, a little hedgehog. Oh my gosh, it's purple. Where'd the bunny go? I'm blind again. Oh, there it is. It's on the top one. There we go. Cyan crewmate is the imposter. I do need to go... It's really funny and crazy. There are so many movies I haven't seen that, like, it has, like, good animation. I'm surprised I haven't seen it yet. I'm putting up here to put up the stream. Lizard Among Us. I'm putting this one up here to put up the stream schedule. We have one more stream to do a writing day. I'm going to be using a model I haven't used in quite a while. It's still on the similar themes. It's one of my favorite ones. But yeah, it's going to be a writing day. I think I'm going to be editing the nanny story that I've been doing for a while. Thank you, Emilio. Love having you here. And I'll go from there to see what story I'll be editing from there. A Bergmite. A Bergmite has appeared. If anyone wants to catch that before we end the stream, I think we'll have enough time for it to see before we raid out. And we are at what? We are at 900 subscribers, a little over 900. When we reach 1,000, we should be able to raid out on YouTube, or redirect is what it's called. Redirect on YouTube. Yeah, because Monday. Yeah. I'm trying to keep it a schedule of Monday through Wednesday for streaming. But because today is like a weird week, we are... doing Tuesday through Thursday today. But anyway, streaming tomorrow for writing, and then next week will be a little bit, we'll be going back to the original schedule. Also, I have a friend reaching out to me about doing a collab on possibly Sunday, essentially this weekend. essentially this weekend to do a collab for Peak. It seems like we always do Peak. So they're going to be carrying my weight, me, Moth, Nom, and usually Glitter to do Peak. So watch them carry my weight, me and Nom screaming at each other and all of that fun. But yeah, so we'll be streaming all of that. So tomorrow, possibly this weekend, usually Sunday, and yeah, that'll be the week's stream. But let me see. I should have been doing this while I was talking. Who are these people? I'm like looking to see who I can raid, and I'm like, who are these people? Oh, there was someone I wanted to raid, but they're not doing art today. Oh my goodness, there's someone who's doing reading and writing, but I have no idea who they are. Oh my gosh, it's a fellow witch. Their name is Audrey Wonderland. Oh, looks like they just started streaming. They're doing writing and reading as well. I don't want to lose chat, so I'm going to like take a second to like move you guys so I don't lose you. Move you before I lose you. Good night, Bato. Love having you here. Yes, Neo, Peak is Peak. And we lose our minds over that. Neo, you're going to work on some art for Haunted Lemonade? Yes, show me. Show me, Neo. I need to see that. I need to see that. Yes, raid time. Oh, they actually have their model up. That model looks so... Sorry, I'm talking about Audrey. Audrey Wonderland, their model is so cute. Before I raid anyone, though, I always want to make sure that wherever my community goes, it's not going to be... It's going to be with someone that I know will take care of you, my precious lovelies. My precious, precious lovelies. I don't like to raid people that do, like, only follows. Follower only, because it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right, because it doesn't feel... It feels like a gated community. It feels like a gated community. Bars, you did some today? Nice. Nice. Okay, so we're gonna raid Audrey Wonderland. They're also doing writing. Looks like they have the, Oh, they're part of, like, a V-Smarties. Looks like they have, like, a part, like, Panda Witch VTuber model. Looks like they have a 3D model. But yeah, let's continue the writing and reading journey over with them. Go ahead and, if you're on the Twitch side, you can get the... Oh, I need to rename that emote. But get the Amore raid emote so we can do the love raid over. And I'll see everyone again next time. Please take care of my precious lovelies. And I'll see everyone on the other side. Bye-bye.